You're all welcome to this evening's webinar. And by God's grace, we believe that it's going to be a very fruitful one, and that God will help us navigate this discussion tonight, and help us make adjustments where necessary to have a wonderful family, to raise wonderful children. Because the truth is, the bedrock of what happens in society stems from families. And because we've forgotten that the society is a collection of different families, we focus more, we neglect the primary, which is family and the children in the family, and we focus on the society, trying to fix the society, not knowing that it's just simple. If you want to fix the society, fix families. If you want to fix a nation, fix families. But unfortunately, the family is about the most neglected parts of our lives. So we pursue every other thing. Even our children are neglected. We pursue every other cause. And the truth is, the one thing that we need to do is to make sure that our families are working, is to make sure that our children are working. And once we're able to achieve that, then we have lesser problems. If we fix that, then we'll fix our families. Like Mrs. Hamilton mentioned this evening, we're going to be looking at our influence as women, not just mothers. Our influence as women, because every woman is a mother. You might not have a biological child at the moment. Yeah. So like I said earlier, the family being the most important, unfortunately, is the most neglected. And as women, we have a bunch of duty. We have a bunch of duty to mold these children. And I'm just going to give us one key tip, and that is modeling. As simple as it sounds, the truth is we raise what we portray. Our children become what they see, not necessarily what they hear. They are more of a product of what they see. So if I take a poll right now and ask everyone to give explain certain character traits or behaviors that they see in themselves and where they think they come from. Yes, there are character traits that are genetic. There are ones that are influenced by the environment. There are several things that influence behavior, but the first environment a child finds himself or herself in is the mother's womb. That's the first environment a child finds himself or herself, the mother's womb. And funny enough, like my dad would always tell me, while I was still a teenager, he would say, you start training a child from the womb. You don't wait for children to come out before you start training them. In that state, in that world that is called the womb of a woman, is where the training ground starts. So you see why the woman is very important in raising a child. You transfer a lot of emotions to your child, even while you're carrying that child. So I don't know if we have pregnant women here. I don't know if we have, I'm sure we have mothers. I don't know if there's someone that is pregnant. You can take advantage of this and begin to restructure and begin to rewire yourself and know that you're already training a child, even though that child has not been born yet, but you've already started training that child, and that your emotions you transfer to that child even while the child is in the womb. And then as we have mothers here who already have their children out, the training doesn't stop from the womb. The training continues as the children watch what you do. So I'm gonna take, like I said earlier, you don't have to be a mother to raise a nation. You don't have to be a mother to raise a child. Every woman is a mother. You don't have to be a biological mother. Let me put it that way. You don't have to be a biological mother to be a mother. Every woman is a mother. You have children in your space. Those children are your children. So as women, we have a lot of role to play. So we're going to be looking at some of these roles that we play as mothers. Okay, so as a mother or as women, like I've said, I might be using the word mother, but I've tried to establish something. When I say mother, please, I'm not referring to biological mothers. I'm referring to every woman. We've been able to establish that every woman is a potential mother, whether you've had your biological children or not, whether you are married or not. As a woman, you are a mother. And I need you to understand that. So when you hear me say mothers, I'm not referring to those who have biological children. I'm referring to every woman. Yeah. So we're going to be looking at a mother's influence. So when I say mother, even if you're not married right yet, no, I'm referring to you have an influence over the children around you. So we're going to understand the impact of our involvement in our children's well-being and all of that. So let's see. I'm going to look at parental involvement. Like I said, the best way to train a child is to model what you want that child to see. You can be saying one thing and you're doing the other, and you're doing the exact opposite. Trust me, your child will take what he or she is saying. Yeah. So first of all, we're going to look at parental involvement. And I want us to understand that parental involvement goes beyond the academics. Parental involvement influences a child's values, it influences a child's skills, it influences a child's emotional development. So when I say parental involvement, that draws us to the point that for us to raise, someone said she wants to learn how to raise godly children who are mentally and emotionally balanced, all-rounded children. Yeah? Trust me, you can't do that without being involved. You have to be involved in every aspect of your children's lives. As a mother, I am a mother too. I'm a mother of 3 children. I have a wonderful husband. I have a daughter. My first daughter is 9 years old. I have the second one. My first daughter will be 10 this year by December. The second one is 8 years old. Then my last child is a boy. So I have 2 girls and a boy. The last one is a boy who'll be 4 by October this year. Okay, so I understand when I say as a mother, it is not easy. But trust me, we have the grace. So I hear some mothers lament, I'm tired, it's difficult. Yes. There's nobody, we're not going to deny the facts. I'm not going to stand here and deny that, oh, it's not difficult. Trust me, it is not easy. That is the honest truth. So we need to acknowledge where we are at. We need to acknowledge what is happening with us and what is going on with us. And then we also need to acknowledge the fact that we have the ability. There is that grace. I don't know how God created women, but we are special beings. I need you to understand that you are a special being. You are not just like every other being. Apologies to the men here. Apologies to you. That's not to put our men down, because the truth is that we can't be mothers without the men. But the truth is that God has created us with special abilities to be able to. And the earlier we understand this and begin to re-engineer our mindset to know that, so that in the areas where you think you don't have the ability, trust me, you have the ability. You just need to draw from within yourself. Yeah. So parental involvement, you have to be involved almost 100%. 100% is not possible, yeah, but almost 100%, because there are times when your children will be out there in school, for example. You are not there in school with them, but there is a way your children are in school and you are involved in what is happening in their school. It's as if you are sitting in the classroom with them. And how does this parental involvement, how do you achieve this parental involvement? One way to achieve this parental involvement is by, first of all, creating a relationship with your children. Trust me, I've dealt with children, both my children and in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I'm sure I've dealt with thousands of children in the course of my career. Not hundreds, thousands of children actually in the course of my career. Different children from different homes with different character traits, from different backgrounds, like just with think of I've dealt with children. Yeah. So there is a way. There is no how you're going to be able to reach a child. Trust me, mothers and women, if you do not first of all create a relationship with that child. This is the crux of the matter. Be it spiritual. I'm going to be using myself an example. Be it spiritual, be it academics, be it emotional, be it social, whatever. There is no how. Please, there is no how. It is not magic. There has to be a relationship for you to be involved. Trust me, these children, they are adults in small bodies. The same way you're able to think, the same way you have emotions, the same way you can be hot. That is the exact same way that these children feel all of the emotions that we feel as adults. The only thing is that they are in a smaller body, and then the way they process it is different from the way we process it, because experience now interfaces, experience now decides how we process things. They've not had as much experience as we've had, so our processing might be different. So trust me, but whatever emotion it is you feel, anger, embarrassment, think about it, joy, happiness, whatever emotion it is you think you're feeling, your teenage child, whatever, your sexual, whatever it is, they feel those emotions, and we need to understand this. The problem with why we don't make headway with our children at times is because we actually don't understand that they feel what we feel. If you can ever feel embarrassed if someone talks to you anyhow, trust me, your child feels embarrassed if you talk to that child anyhow. If there are certain things you don't like, if there are certain ways you like to be treated, if you like to be respected, trust me, your child loves to be respected. But because we've gotten so used to the fact that, oh, I gave birth to this child. Oh, I saw this child when the mother gave birth to this child. I know where this child is. I know I carried this child. I changed this child's pampers. I did this. I did that. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, you did it. But that doesn't still excuse the fact that, or the fact that this child is now a human being, is a human being. And this child has emotions like you have emotions. So most times, activities and everything draw us into forgetting this truth. And we begin to treat these children as tools. And then we're not able to create a relationship with them. And then we're now struggling to be part of their lives. How will you be part of someone's life? Please, let me even ask you guys, how people that are part of your lives as adults, the people you allow into your space, why do you allow them in your space? Let me even ask us. Why do you allow people in your space? People that you're free to talk to. Please think about, just look at yourself. People that you're free to expose yourself to, you're free to talk to, people that you're comfortable relating, you're comfortable being vulnerable around. Who are those people? Are they strangers? Who are those people? Are they some kind of people that just come in and they buzz into your life and they buzz out? These are people that have created some sort of relationship with you. So why do you think it's going to be different with your child? Trust me, you know better. So why would your child suffer lack of knowledge? Why would your child not be able to benefit from your wealth of knowledge simply because we cannot humble ourselves in relationship with them? So women, mothers, I'm encouraging us today. It takes a lot of humility. Trust me. It takes a lot of humility to humble yourself, to create a relationship with your children, to be able to be part of their lives. If we can do this, it will be easy to transfer whatever we have, whatever knowledge it is we have, whatever wealth, it is easy to transfer it where there is a relationship. Let one of our goals today be to create a relationship. Someone might be asking, how do I create this relationship? Create a relationship with them. My friends, sometimes when they come to my house, they're like, you and these your children, you behave like you plan mates. And I used to answer them. One thing my mom used to tell me when we were growing up. I remember those days when we asked my mom, how old are you? My mom would say, we're mates now. The day you saw me, I saw you. And then we used to make it, tell us how old you are. We knew how our father's age, but my mom would never tell you her age. So whenever you ask her, I say, are we not mates? The day you saw me, it's not the day I saw you. Both of us are mates. I'm like, so when my friends ask me, like, you and these your children, your daughters, people behave like you laugh. People behave like your age mates. The way they talk to you, the way they relate with you, are you guys are beyond friends. Like, I'm like, are they not my friends? Am I older than they are? I'm not older. We are just the day this. I always repeat the same thing I used to hear from my mom. I said the day they saw me is the day I saw them. And that has helped a lot. So I'm going to be very practical. Someone was saying something about, I don't know how to get my children to tell me, I'm trying to get my children to open up to me. I'm like, I'm running away from them, opening up. Like, I'm like, oh, please, please, please. Someone said, I think it was yesterday, we're in a meeting yesterday, and someone said something about it was still it had to also do with grooming, and it was a conference like this, but for youths actually. And then someone was saying something about how to get children to tell you the truth about what they did. I'm like, even my own children, even when I don't know that they've done something wrong, they would come to me and say, Mommy, there's this idea, though, you're not aware, but let me tell you. I'm like, well, go ahead now. What is it? And it might be something that will want to make me shout. But because of that relationship, I'm like, we'll now talk about it. Like, yes, I know it's bad. I'm not feeling comfortable keeping it from you. That's why I said, let me talk to you about it. And we'll resolve it. Like, if we'll talk about it like friends. Like, okay, don't do this. You know it's wrong. Say, yes, I know it's wrong, but you just need to know. Why is that possible? Because we've been able to create a relationship. Yeah. So, like I said, when you get involved in these children's lives, you begin to impact their values. You can't impact your children's values if you don't create a relationship with them. You begin to instill life skills. You begin to foster emotional intelligence. And this begins to build a foundation for success for your children. But it starts first by creating a relationship. I was in a program sometime last year, and it was still relationship. We're talking about it was still about something that had to do with relations between parents and their children. And one woman stood up and said that she is a mother now. She is a mother. She has grown-up children. But she said something. She said she cannot relate. She called her parents once in a blue moon. Why? Because when they were growing up, there was no relationship. And now that then the relationship was so distant, it was so mechanical, so distant. So whatever she learned on her own. She figured life herself. So now the parents are older, and they are now calling her, and they're looking for them. And she's like, I don't know how to create this relationship. We never had it. So how do I start doing this? And she was saying that it taught her to get to be involved in her children's lives, because she's seeing how life is with her and her mother right now, and it is a mess, and she doesn't want the same with her own children. So she's making conscious effort. Please mark my words, intentional and conscious effort. Like I said earlier, someone might be asking, how do I create a relationship with my children? All right. Discussion. Play. There are little things, but they go a long way. Your child comes back from school. Oh, what's up? What happened today? It is not the time to start saying, Did you do your homework? Did you do this? They've had stress, like they've been stressed in school. They've been stressed in school. What they need is a warm welcome, first of all. They need it. It's not, hey, how did you, I learned you did not do this. You didn't finish your food. They are just coming back, and the next thing, it is already quarrel. It is already, all that child will know about you and relationship with you. I beg, it is just, it's business. With my mom, it is straight to business. Let's get straight to business. And you think it's going to end there. With every other thing that has to do with your child is going to be straight to business. There are practical ways. They come back. The first thing they need is, oh God, I've had a stressful day. The same way you come back, oh God, how we should understand that the same things we feel, these children feel it. The same way you come back from a stressful job every day from work, and then probably you had a wonderful boss that messed up your day, that just give it to you left, right, center, and you come back home. Please, let me ask us, how many of us will want to come back and the next thing you're hearing from the person at home, be it your spouse, be it your roommate, be it the person the next thing you're hearing is, I hope you did your work very well, very well. And the next thing please tell me, how would you feel? How are you going to feel? But that's the same thing we do to our children. And we think, oh, I'm trying to mold them. Oh, no. The same way you want, oh, sweetheart, welcome back. How was your day? And then you're able to calm down and talk about the things you like, talk about the things you don't like, the things that happened. And then if you want to cry, you cry. If you want to laugh, you laugh. And then there is emotional balance. See, this thing we call emotional balance. Now we hear a lot of things. Oh, please, I don't want anything to affect my mental well-being, my emotional well-being. So there's this buzz about, please, I need a space. I need a healthy space. I need positive vibes that will not. Please, how many of us are giving our children positive vibes at home? Or are we sending them out? You know, sometimes we do these things and we think, oh, but I'm trying to discipline. Yes, I'm going to come to that. There's place for discipline, and there is how to discipline effectively. There are several methods of this, but there is effective discipline, right? So I'm not the woman that will say, oh, pamper. I don't pamper. I pamper, and I'm also firm. There's a place to be firm. There's a place to be lenient. A combination of all that creates a balance. But when it is tilted to just one side, there is an imbalance. So I'm not an advocate of, oh, don't scold your children, don't discipline the children. No, I'm not an advocate of that, because I do. In fact, this evening before this webinar started, I had to flog them. Because they finished eating. They have a routine. If you finish eating, you wash your plate, you clear up where you eat. And then because I was having a nap or something, and then they forgot, and I came out, I'm like, are you guys serious? You left it for who? And I took my smoking. So I am also an advocate of discipline. We talk about it. Why did you do this? Explain yourself. Okay, you know you deserve this. We already have we understand how it works. So when I say it's time for, okay, you understand that it's time for it. So we're not going to struggle about it. So I'm not an advocate of don't discipline you. No. I'm an advocate of create a balance. So we're looking at how to create a healthy relationship. So I was giving an example with your children coming back from school. So I'm going to use the term work, because that's what we are. That's what we know as women right now, as parents, as mothers. We know work. So begin to think in your head how you feel after a stressful day. So do a swap and put your child in your place and begin to imagine how that child had a stressful day. Sitting under one teacher or several teachers, copying notes, listening to mental stress, physical stress. They'll go out, they'll play, and all of that. And then the child comes, and the first thing you think is best to do is to start, oh, you did not do this, you did not do that. Kai God. Please. In that way, you would chase these children. You just push them away from you. The first thing they need is a warm welcome. How was school today? Did you enjoy it? Just little questions. Before you know what's happening, they are running, their mouth is running like tap. And trust me, you don't start this thing. Okay, yes, you might not have started it early enough. So when you start it late, it doesn't happen like magic because they need to start trusting you first. It doesn't happen like magic, please. If it's something they are used to right from growing up, okay, this is so it becomes a culture, it becomes easy. They don't struggle to talk to because there has been it's a culture. They've learned it, they are living in it. But when you start it, please don't expect it will happen. Don't say, by accident, they just answered me fine and left. Please take that fine for now, but don't stop. When you take the fine, also talk about your own day. I'm one person that is very vulnerable. I don't think there's anything my children don't know about me except for very sensitive things. But I'm intentionally vulnerable to them. Intentionally. With my weaknesses, my children are aware of my weaknesses. So they also understand that nothing is wrong with me. Sometimes we make our children believe that, we're all perfect, and they are striving and they're overwhelmed. Their brain is overwhelmed. Where they're striving to, mommy says it has to be all perfect. Life has to be this. And we are stressing their brain. There's a lot of mental breakdown with children these days because we are not real to them. We need to be real to our children. Be real to them. Let them know that you fail sometimes. Let them see you vulnerable. Let them see you're tired. Sometimes I'm tired. I want to cry. Sometimes I cry in front of them. They'll be like, Mommy, it's okay. Don't worry. You're good. So I'm talking about cry. What cry? I'm just overwhelmed. I'm stressed. I'm like, I'm tired. Can you please massage my feet? And then they'll come. Okay, Mommy, don't worry. Just calm down. And then they're talking to me. Besides, my husband is not around. They're talking to me. They're trying to make me relax and all of that. And everybody's trying to, when it is their turn, my children will tell me, Mommy, no, I'm actually stressed. I'm tired. And if I want to go, what did you do? He said, Mommy, please. You see the same way you were tired the other day. The treatment I gave you is what I'm expecting from you. And then I'll pause. I'm like, okay, what are you looking for? What do you want? Then just touch my head, small, massage my head, small. I'm like, okay. In that way, there is this relationship. There is nothing, almost absolutely nothing they can talk to you about. And once you get to that point, it becomes easy for you to instill any value you want. Whatever you say becomes the final say. Trust me, it will be difficult for another person to influence your child. My 4-year-old child, I was so amazed just this last week. I give them time to go outside to play. They went out to go and play. And I was by my window because when they go out, so I stay in the corner of the house where I'm able to hear what is happening in their play, to be involved in that play. They are not seeing me present, they don't know. But I position myself in the corner of the house where I'm able to monitor the play without them seeing me. You get? So, another child in the compound told my son, he's 3 years, he'll be 4 by October, told my son, there's a part at the back of the house, there's one part of that I don't want them going to because, okay, that place is a bit lonely, and then it could be dangerous. There are pipes there and all of that. And then another child that is just a bit older than my son. I said, John, come, let's go to this. God, my heart just melted. I was just sky. I felt I was so happy. I heard my son from the window. He said, no, I can't go there. My mom would not be happy if I go there. This is 3 years old child. I was so happy. When he came back, that is another thing we also need to learn to do. Let's not keep these things to us. When we're happy with them, please, let's tell them we're happy. When he came back, as he entered the room when it was time for play over, okay, everybody come and go and take a bath. As he came into the room to hug me, because that one is a lovey kind of person. As he came into the room, I told him, I said, see, I said, John, do you know I'm so proud of you? He was like, I said, what happened? I said, I love the way I heard you when you told that guy that you're not going to go to the back with him because mommy will not like it. I said, even when I wasn't there, you understood what to do and you did the right thing. I hugged him. I explained to him. I explained, make children understand your expectations. I made him understand, okay, I made him understand the action he did and my reaction to that action, how much I loved that action. And then, do you know what that does to the child? They do excellently, not just with academics. Most times we focus only on academics. And sometimes we create robots because it is just the only thing that matters to us is academics, 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 education, education. In as much as it is good, though, it is excellent. The word is taking a turn. Yeah? Right now, what the word is looking for is skills. It's not your certificate. So if you're a parent here, or you know a parent, and the only thing that that parent is concerned about is, oh, the A1s that my son got in WAEC, the first class my son is going to come out with, please do that, parents. You'll be doing that parent a very great favor to let that parent know that, please, you are creating a lot of imbalance in the life of this child, and you're not creating a path of success for this child. Because trust me, all of these things are mindset. The problem we're having in the society today is not because we don't have smart children, but because the mindset that the children have. And where did they get this mindset from? From us. From us. We kept instilling it gradually. Every day, that's what they keep hearing. And before you know what is that, we indoctrinate them. The same way you will see a small child do something, probably if you watch some movies and then you see some small children put in a particular place and all they are teaching them is violence and all of that, and then you find a small child carry a gun, and because that is what the child kept hearing over and over again, and then the mind is engineered to think in that direction. So it takes a while to begin to re-engineer that mind, to begin to re-engineer that mind. So the earlier we do it, the better, so that we don't start trying to fix. So let's do the right things. Let's not let these children, because most times they just become robots. It affects their social life. It affects their emotional well-being. It affects their mental well-being. It affects their spirit. Like, it affects all round. Yeah. Okay. So I've talked about creating a relationship with our children as being very paramount and to being involved. Very key to being involved to children's lives, to getting ourselves involved in their everyday lives. First of all, a relationship. And then if we're getting involved, let's know that they do more of what they see as against what we tell them, as against what they hear. So what they see us do. Last month, no. In the month of May 25th, yeah, my daughter had her first art exhibition, my 9-year-old daughter. One of the days she was working on her art, I was like, Faithful, go and sleep now, it's getting late. So when she said, okay, I said, Mommy, no, I have homework. So I've already planned that with this time, if I finish this. When I now insisted, my daughter turned and looked at me. He said, Mommy, excuse me. When you have work to do, all of us will go to bed. You are sitting down in this parlor, you're on that system, you're working, you don't go to bed until you are done. So please, can you allow me also finish my work and then go to bed? Hey, God. I looked at my daughter, I don't know what to answer her. Where did she learn that from? I didn't tell her that, she saw it. So she saw that, she saw responsibility, taking responsibility of whatever, and putting your energy in whatever you're doing, putting all of your energy in whatever you're doing for excellence. She saw it. I did not talk. I didn't say it. I didn't say it to her. And then, see me, I didn't know how to answer her. I just said, okay, but you know that you are still, I started using, oh God have mercy on me. I started using psychology. I said, okay, you know you're younger than I am. You need more rest than myself. If you don't get rest, you know it affects your growth. If you need a lot of sleep, then I started talking. He said, okay, just give me a little time. We have to bargain. And that was how we struck that. But okay, I gave her a little time. We timed it. Okay, I'm going to set a timer. In the next 30 minutes, you should pack up from wherever you just and go to bed. And she agreed. Why did she do that? What she has seen. We complain about our children. Ah, this child is always on the television. Please, how long do you stay on the television as a mother, as a woman, as a parent? So how do you think that magic is going to happen? Because that's what they see. Recently, in my local assembly in church, yeah. So we've been doing this reading the Bible from beginning to the end, and I've been doing my best to follow it. Recently, because we're on holiday, everybody's on holiday, so they see me reading my Bible. So when I like they see me more often on my Bible. Recently, I noticed my children without me. See, we raise these children by modeling. Recently, they saw me. I started seeing them. They would just, this one will be on one corner, the other one on one corner with their Bibles. I'll just be looking at them like, wow. Read your Bible. Can't do this. Can't do that. It is what they have seen. There's no how we're going to flog this, what children see. So please let me ask us, if it is only outsiders that are seeing us, if it is only we spend ourselves outside, and then the only thing our children see is when we are tired, we come back. And then please, nobody should disturb me. That's the only thing they see. Please, how do we want to model life for them? If the children don't get to see us. I understand that the environment we found ourselves, for those of us that are in Nigeria, the environment we found ourselves, like, it's not helping matters, yeah? Like I said earlier, there has to be some form of intentionality. There has to be some form of intentionality. See, where there is a will, there is a way. You have to first of all decide. Trust me. When you can say, my job, I close from this and that. Whatever that is important to you, trust me, you make out time for it. For me, one of the things that matter most to me is my family. See, family, it matters, like every other thing comes after family. For me, family is first. So after I've mapped out family, okay, every other thing, I will now check every other thing against family. Okay, work. The family is like, okay, so work should now come like this. Oh, even church. Oh, family is okay, church should now follow. After family, oh, for me, family first. Family, that is for me, oh, family first. And when I say family first, I'm not saying God, I'm not taking God out of it, because God is one ministry. Family is ministry unto God. And we need to understand it. Family is ministry, is the first place of ministry. Is the first place of serving God. Bible said, please pardon me, I'm a Christian. If we have Muslims here, so I'm going to, so at some point I'll put some scriptures, yeah. The Bible said about Abraham, and he said, I know Abraham, that he will raise up his children in the fear and admonition of God. So if it is that important to God, when I place my family first, I am placing God's concern. I'm placing God's intention. I'm placing God's will, what God wants first. Because if all of us will raise spiritual, godly, smart, all that you are thinking about for your children, if all of us will raise them, we'll raise children that will make God happy. If you want God to be happy, start from raising your own children to make him happy. When we raise our own children to make him happy, we first of all want souls. Let the first souls we are going to win, let them come first from our families. Let them be first. Let them be the souls of our family members, of our children first. Sometimes we leave our children and we're conquering cities. And we've not conquered our children. These things have to first of all resonate with us. It has to first of all be an intention we have. Then, when it is an intention, we can now start pursuing it. So some of the values we can teach our children is empathy. We can teach them respect. We can teach them integrity. I cannot overemphasize modeling in order to teach these things. I cannot teach my children empathy if I don't empathize with others. And trust me, your children know when you are, when you're trolling. They know when you are pretending. Like I said earlier, these human beings are adults in small bodies. They understand when it is not coming from your heart. These children can tell empathy. They can tell it. Your children can tell respect. Your children can tell pride. The same way your children can tell the positive things you do, they can tell the negative things you do. Trust me. And because the world is engrossed in darkness, negativity thrives more. So if you are one given to arrogance, trust me, you raise arrogant children. Even when you tell them, why you didn't greet this uncle. It's not about greeting this uncle. Though. It's not about telling your child, did you greet this uncle? What do you say behind closed doors? And then your children hear you talk about people. Your children sit down and listen to you, slandering and pissing people. And what do you think they're going to become? I cannot talk about this influence without bringing in modeling. Modeling is just it. What do you want them to become? Live the life you want your children to become. Now, in my house, what reigns in my house is CEO. This one is CEO. That one is CEO. Why? Because they see their mother raising young entrepreneurs. They see their mother, if you want your children to become a career person, you cannot just sit down lazying about. And then you're telling them, even if there is not much you're doing, these children can understand dignity of labor with the way you manage, with the way you labor and you work hard. They will now amplify what you've done. When it comes to their table, when it comes to them, when they come to that part, to that level in their lives, because they've learned those skills, they've learned those values from watching you keep the time, because I value this job I'm doing, I value this work. They see how you attend to work. They see how you pay attention to excellence, how you pay attention to details. It is not by what you say. Please, parents, please, mothers, please, women. Let's talk less and do more. Let's talk less and do more. If we keep talking and then we're doing the opposite, we'll just wear ourselves out. Because first of all, we're confusing those children. And like, there's this movie. Are you going? You're not going? I like you said that. Like, make up your mind. Like, can you please make up your mind where you want these children to go? Do you want them to follow what you're saying, or you want them to follow what you're doing? Please make up your mind and stick to one. So if you're going to stick to what you're saying, then act what you're saying. If you're going to stick to what you're doing, then say what you're doing. Stop confusing them. Yeah? So Modeling. I cannot say whatever I'm saying here without sticking to modeling. There's something my mom told me growing up. I I was one of those children that was how will I put it now? As a teenager, I had several eyes on me. And then a lot of people expected, oh, this one is going to be this, oh, this one is going to be that. People were, I mean, in church, I'm a church girl. Sorry, please. So, and then a lot of people would say, we're just saying quite a lot of things about me. And there were this clique of mothers then. My mom was a younger mother, we're teenagers. But this clique of mothers that will come in and all they know is to be talking about children and all whatnot. And my mom would never indulge in it. One day I asked her, she told me, she said that when she was much, much younger, that there was this family member that had a younger daughter. And she would always sit down and pieces other people's daughters. Like, she'd bring up their matter and pieces it. Meanwhile, this woman's child is still very young, very, very young, was still a child. But when this woman's child became a teenager, when the girl became a teenager, started growing into adulthood, that what this woman's daughter started doing was worse than what those other women's children were doing, that her mother would not let them rest or their mothers rest for it. My mom said she learned from it, that she learned a lesson from it, that it is better I focus and raise my children. And then if I see other children that are going in the wrong path, instead of tearing them down, instead of talking about them, and then seeing all the evil that they're doing, in any little way I can help them, I can talk to them nicely, in any little way I can treat them like they're my biological children and correct them. I would rather do it than say ill things about them. And that was what she learned. I was like, wow. And then seeing that in my own life, and then seeing people sometimes like, thank God I know my daughter. Because I actually, she was like, thank God I know my daughter. I know her personality. She's just, but I know her. Funny enough, most of those women that would not let me rest, as at this time, like it was like a replay. Their own children were still were like children that I would carry, were still very small. Some of them I carried their children. Now, their children are grown up, and the kind of things I hear about their children makes me weep. Like, I'm like, wow, this life is very funny. The time you have to discuss with your children, the time you have to have profitable and positive discussion and relationship with your children, you will use it to destroy and tarnish other children's images. The little things we do, our children see them. We have a gate man, we have helps at home, and we don't respect them. We don't talk to them anyhow. We talk to them anyhow. We don't talk to them nicely. Even when they make mistakes, granted, they make mistakes. Sometimes they are annoying. Your gate man doesn't open the gate, you horn, you just keep honking and all of that. Your children are watching. Tomorrow they will do the same. Your driver is probably even, let's say, beats the traffic. It is wrong, granted, but how do you correct? That's what your children will learn. Two wrongs do not make a right. Your children also watch how you treat their father. As a mother, they watch how you respect their father. Trust me, it is the same thing they are going to bring into their own home. So when we talk about, it's more like raising ourselves. When we talk about influencing children, it's more like re-engineering our own selves and working on our own selves to be able to work on these children. You're not saying it. You're not telling them, oh, go and insult your husband when you get married, go and insult your wife, or go and do this. No, you're not saying it though, but they are seeing it. And then if God doesn't intervene, You just see the exact same thing replaying itself. So there's a lot to learn. So you teach the children to greet elders respectfully and help others. So and again, communicating with the children, when you help people, how do you help them? Do you help them like, oh, they are very poor people, let me just, you do just throw it, please take. They also see it though, pride. Do they see you genuinely doing this thing? So the long and short of this whole thing is model the right thing for your children to see. Yeah, engaging your children in everyday activities like grocery, like I had I used to have okay, I've had stay-in help for like about two times, yeah, about 2 times. My children started growing up, and I started realizing that okay, they need to start learning to do some things. So what I now started doing was to have helps that come in and go. So they come in like some days in the week, maybe 2 times a week. I had to reduce. It used to be 5 times a week. I reduced it to 4 times a week. I reduced it 3 times. Now I have just 2 times in a week. It's intentional. I did it intentionally. I had to reduce the times those helps come in. It's intentional. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is not easy. I had to reduce the times my helps come in to just 2 times. Why? Because I want them to start doing those things. I want them to be involved. I want them to learn how to sew. So let's say my help comes right now, my help comes in Tuesdays and Saturdays. So she comes in on Tuesday, she cleans. After cleaning, she goes home. From Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The cleaning, everything is for you guys. So I'm cooking in the kitchen. You don't stay in the living room watching what. You come and join me. Tomorrow I'll tell you, okay, you go and do this. And also let's trust them. I remember my second daughter. My first daughter is easy. It was easy for me to just let her go and be doing things. Okay, oh, mommy, I want to fry egg. Okay, go and fry. Okay, I want to boil it, make it. Okay, go and make. Okay, I want to do this. I want to make okay, go and make, and all of that because I involved her more. I trusted her more. One day, my second daughter came to me and said, "Mom, why is it that when I tell you that I want to fry egg, you don't allow me? Why is it that you don't trust me?" Those were her words. Say, you don't trust me. I'm like, it's not like I don't trust you, but your sister is older than you. At least you can say, he said, when she started, now I'm 8 years. He said, now I'm 8 years. She started when she was even younger. There's no how I'm going to deny that though. I have to accept that I was wrong. And again, that's another thing we do with our children. We should do with our children. Please, when we're wrong, do not shy away from telling them that you're wrong. That's one thing I do with them. If I'm wrong, I tell my children, okay, you know what? I'm actually wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't even think about it. I like to be very vulnerable so that it helps them grow healthy. I like to be very vulnerable. Yeah, I was actually wrong. Okay, I think you can. Like hey. And funny enough, she can enter the kitchen, fry egg, boil water, do small things, make indomie, and all those little things. So I'm trusting her. So when your children know that you trust them, it gives them that there is this excitement and the courage to continue to achieve more. But it's not when your children, no, don't do it, you're going to spoil it. Oh, no, don't. Please let them spoil it now. How would they learn? If we don't let them do it and fail, for the records, I actually don't call it failure. In my dictionary, there's no failure. It's only failure when you stopped. In my dictionary, oh no, there's no failure. It becomes a failure when you've given up. Then I can term it failure. But how would they get these things? No, don't do it. I'm going to help you. Oh, no, don't worry. Let me come and do it. Really? How are they going to exercise their brains to know how to solve those problems? It is difficult, yes, but you know how to do it. You know, sometimes I'm too much in a hurry. It's going to waste my time. I beg, it's going to waste my time. Please let them waste your time. I beg you in the name of God. Tomorrow, they are not going to waste your time. Let them do it and drag. And then you correct. And then you say, can you please hurry up? Okay, I need it. Let them do it. I know that sometimes we're pressed for time that we want to do things. Sometimes it's better let them not even thought. Please shift. You're going to spoil. If I send you now, you scatter everywhere. Please shift. And we do it. And we continue to do it. And then we're denying them the opportunity to learn and grow. Can we allow them make mistakes? Can we allow them do these things and make mistakes and learn from those mistakes? Because that's the only way they are going to learn. If you allow them make mistakes. Because that's even how we're going to see their mistakes and the pattern of their mistakes and even know how to correct. If we don't even let them make the mistakes, we'll not even see the pattern of those mistakes and know where to step in and start making corrections. And then when we now think, okay, I remember last year, because I run a summer program for children. Last year, parents called me and said they want me to do like culinary for their daughter. Their daughter is in SS1. SS1. She is about 14 years. 14 years. And she could not cut onions. 14 good years. You tell her, okay, wash this thing, and she couldn't wash plate, and I'm like, wow. Probably because I deal with a lot of children, when I see this, I'm like, I try to make a mental note. You see this? If you don't correct this one, you see it in your children. So I begin to make adjustment. Okay, now wow. Okay, let me be sure that I don't make the same mistake with my children. So okay, let me put these measures in place. Let me put this in place so that let them make these mistakes now. So that tomorrow I'm not shouting, look at how old you are, and you cannot do this. Look at your mates. Who, when their mates were learning it, did you allow them to learn it? No. So please don't shout on them. Give them the opportunity. Trust them. Even with information, learn to trust your children. You see, these values, they cultivate it at a young age. Talk to them. Tell them things that you expect not to hear elsewhere. Tell them and let them know that you trust them. It's like with lies. I remember my last boy, my last child, the boy. There was one period he would do something, he would lie to me. I'm like, but this guy, where is he? Like, mommy, the next thing that will come out of his mouth is lie. Okay? He will what did it is not me. And maybe you even saw him doing it though. I say, what is this? I'll call him. I say, wait, John, who did this? He will now look at me. He will say again, it's not me. I'll keep asking, who did this? Who bought this? When he's now tired, and I say, it's me. I will now ask him, okay, why did you tell me? Why did you decide to tell me? If you see me having a conversation with that boy, you think he's a man I'm having a conversation with. I will now ask him, okay, please, why did you tell me that it was no you? Can you tell me why? One day he told me, because you're going to flog me. That was what he answered me. And I told him, I said, you know what? I'm actually going to flog you, but I want you to know why I'm flogging. I'm not flogging you because you poured the water. I'll flog you because you lied to me. The value I want is for you to tell me the truth. You're allowed to make mistakes, but tell me the truth. If you lie to me and I find out the truth, I will flog you. But if you tell me the truth, peradventure, I might not. I always tell my children, please, that you're telling me the truth is not a guarantee. It's not an escape route. It's not a guarantee that you're going to escape. You might be punished, but your punishment might be lenient, might be minimal if you told me yourself, if you told me the truth. But if it is a lie, that's another thing we need to also know. Do our children know our values? Are there values that your children know that they cannot break? That's another thing. Sometimes children are just living, they actually don't understand that there are certain values in my family. So is it something that is clear to our children? We need to make those values clear to them. By the time I started dealing with my son like that, he now started understanding that, okay, what this man actually does not like is lies. So even before, now it's very funny. Like my wall, if you enter my house, my wall is white. You think I painted it like I painted. So I always tell them, I'm like, you see the wall is mommy's wall. Nobody touches it. If you write anything, you will get a rag, a towel, you will soak it in water and you're going to clean it. So then, if he does, those days when he used to lie, if he does, I will smack his hand and then I'll give him a towel. I will stay there. It's stressful for me, but he will clean it. If I need to hold his hands to clean it, I'll hold his hands. He will be cleaning it. I'll be holding the hand. It's stressful, but I will hold his hands. He will clean it. Then, if he now writes, I'll be like, it's not me, mommy. It's not me. It's gracious. I'm like, you even pin it on someone. Are you kidding? So now when he realized that, oh, the value for this woman is truth. Even before I come, be like, mommy, do you know what? I was trying to write. I now wrote on the wall, come and see. Kai God, that one weakens me. I'm like, okay, you've written on the wall. You know what to do, right? You're going to clean it. If you write on it again tomorrow, I will flog you. So where do you write on? You write on paper. I will make him repeat after me. Where do you write on? I write on paper. If you don't have paper, what do? You ask mommy for paper. Mommy will give paper to write on. So now I now hear the truth is like water. Like even when I don't need the truth, you go, mommy, I did this. Mommy, I did this. Who broke it? Mommy, I'm the one that broke it. You know, I was carrying it, and then it fell off from my hands. Understanding values. We also need to, as women, do we even know the value we want these children to, we want to instill in our children? We need to first of all know the values, write them down. Write the vision, make it plain. Write down some values you want to see in your children. Is he excellent? Is he career people? Do you want your children to be career driven people? What is it you want? Write it down and let your children know them. And when they are making progress, please tell them. Communication is key. Communication is not talking to them. Communication is listening to them, talking to them, wait and let them listen to you, and also wait to listen to them. That is communication. Communication is not go and do this because I said so. It is not communication. They will grow up and do it to every other person around them. So sometimes I hear my children telling me, "Mommy, calm down first. Can you calm down and wait? Let me explain this thing." When some people come to my house, sometimes they'll be like, at first instance, you might think he's rude, he's being rude, but it's just communication. They did not insult me. They didn't say anything negative to me. The only thing my child has said is, "Mommy, can you please calm down? Let me explain something to you." Is he wrong? No. But I think sometimes our African culture has impacted us a lot that we don't even let the children express themselves. We don't even allow them. Like there's no room for them to. We just want them to be robots. As I said it, that is how it's going to be. And then when it is obvious that we are wrong, and they've seen that wrong thing, and they point it out. Our pride will still not let us tell them that, oh, I think you were correct, though. I was wrong. Even my little son will say, "Mommy, you were wrong. I was right." I say, "Yes, you're actually right. I was wrong." And we'll play about it and we'll move on. In that way, you're instilling a value of not just respect, integrity, honesty. So, influencing our children is first of all influencing ourselves to be the influencers. It's first of all working on ourselves. There's a lot of vulnerability expected. Don't be scared to be vulnerable to your children. Don't be scared. It helps. It gives them an emotional. So when your child, I remember my child is getting into puberty, so a lot of things, a lot is happening with her, and I've not been more grateful than I am now. That I've not been more grateful about the relationship I created with her, because now I'm seeing the benefit of that relationship. Because now she'll come to me like, look at how I'm feeling now. Look at this. I'm like, are you serious? Okay, I'm like, okay, do you know what? Some of those things happen when you're growing up. You know, at this age, now I'm very happy that I was able to create that relationship. Because anything that happens, sometimes she tell me, "Mom, is it bad to like a guy?" There's this to do if I tell her this? So I don't know. Imagine if it was such a relation I have with my daughter, and then in this critical stage of my life, I'm not able to help because I didn't even create the relationship in the first place. So I've looked at spiritual, emotional, career. There was a couple came to me once and said, a husband actually, not a couple, and said they need me to talk to their wife. That he needs me to talk to his wife. That the wife is this, the wife is that, and that his fear is that the children are going to follow suit. That he wants his children, there's a kind of life he wants. So even our husbands understand this, that there's a kind of life he wants for his children, but his wife is not living that kind of life. And he knows that as they continue to see this, unconsciously, they'll begin to live the life their mother is living. So you see that is that important. I remember one day, there was a day my second daughter met me, and do you know what she told me? And I remember I said the exact same thing to my dad. This life is funny. She said to me, Mommy, I know you are going to go to heaven. And I remember the day I told my dad that thing. So I knew, I'm like, I said, how did you know? Did God appear to you? We're just laughing about it. He said, come, the way you pray. See, sometimes I just sit and I'm asking God, will I ever be able to pray like my mom? Will I ever be able to say in the night you're praying, every time you're praying, this one down and down? He almost brought tears to my eyes. And the only thing I did, I just held her hands. And she said, she was like, I've been asking God if I'll be able to be praying like you. I don't even know. Sometimes I try. I had to tell her that I grew. I had to tell her how I grew. The process that it wasn't, I had to tell her I didn't just land like this. It created a conversation. It created room for conversation. And I held her hands and I prayed with her. So I said, see, the same God that helped your mom, that same God is with you. He's going to help you. And she'll come and she'll tell me, I'm writing my own Bible. As a matter of fact, right now, she's writing her own version of the Bible. I don't know what chapter she is in. And she's very serious about it. Only God knows. I don't even know what gave her that inspiration. I don't even know. One day she just came. She said, Mommy, I have my own Bible. I'm writing my own version. And I looked at her and said, now, wow. She'll read the scriptures first. Then she'll now translate it in the way she understood. And she'll be writing each chapter. So if each chapter, I'm like, oh, wow. So if we want our children to grow spiritually, please let's show that to them. Let's bring them in when we're praying. Your own personal prayer, sometimes bring them in. Let them see you vulnerable. Let them see you apologize to them. Let them hear you say you're sorry. Let them hear you say you're wrong. It helps them know that nothing is wrong with them. They are not thinking that, oh, every other person is okay, but me, I'm not okay. And then again, when it comes to discipline, please, you don't discipline every child the same way. Please understand the personalities of your children. There's one of my daughters that I will rarely flog because it doesn't work. Because you just break her into plenty pieces. Then there is one that I will flog. There's one that is, please call her, talk to her, woman to woman. Both of you should just talk and it will sink and forget it if the deal is done. Understand their personalities and deal with them accordingly. Also let them understand your personality. I remember when I told my children, my daughter, I was doing lesson with her, I think exam preparation. And at some point I was getting angry. She wasn't getting I would sit, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Hey God, my heart burst. I paused, I left the living room. I went out, I came back. I said, hi God. I say, see, I'm very sorry. I say, see what? See your mom, sometimes when she's stressed, I was telling her, I say, when she's stressed like this, she loses it at times. It's not actually because of you. Because if care is not taken, that child will start thinking that something is wrong with them. But I told her, I say, it's actually not you. See, that outburst has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with me. Whenever I'm stressed, and I need you guys to know it, everything begins to pinch me. I'm just tired. And so, and I told her, I said, can you be my accountability partner? She said, okay. She said, what do I want her to do? I said, whenever you see that, okay, maybe I'm raising my voice small, maybe we're learning, and then you're not getting it, just call me mommy, calm down, and just tell me, mommy, can we please take a break? And then and all of that. I'm like, okay. So she was like, okay. That when she does it, I say, if you do, just say it once. You know, I'm already on the edge. So say it once. We had the bargain on how to go about it. I said, okay, I'm already on the edge. So when you say it, we had the code. We just had the code of how to call me to order. So anytime I'm getting there, she will not smile. At some point, I say, okay, what you do is just hold my hands. I know I'm the one shouting. I know you should be the one getting angry. You should be the one feeling bad. But understand that your mommy also needs help. What you can help me do is just hold my hands and squeeze it and tell me, mommy, please, can we take a break? I will understand it because we've already discussed it. And it started working for us. So whenever we're doing that, and then I'm the outburst is, next thing she'll just come close to me, or maybe she'll just rub my back and look at me and say, can we take a break small? And I'll take a very deep breath. I say, okay, all right, I think we should. And then we move, everybody moves there. I say, okay, go and try things, go and try it out on your own. I'll come back later. And that worked for us. So let them understand that you too, it does something for them. There's this emotional balance it gives your children. So nobody, they don't go outside and somebody makes them feel less of themselves. They can't feel less of themselves because they begin to understand that I have my own personality and I cannot apologize for it. There are good things about me. There are things that I'm still working on. So there's a question here that says, how do I positively influence a strong-willed child? And how do I discipline without being angry? Okay, I have one strong-willed child in my house. Jesus, my second daughter. When you hear very strong-willed, my second daughter is very, very strong-willed. And she would ask you questions that would, sometimes if you're not careful, you would sit like, first of all, what I did was I actually asked God to give me wisdom on how to handle her. I'm not going to lie to you. I actually asked God to help me, to give me wisdom. Do you know why? Because I'm a very strong-willed person. And I actually love her strong will, and I don't want to break that strong will. I actually love her strong will because she needs it in this life. So I want to be able to discipline her without taking away that strong will. Because that strong will is a very strong, is a very wonderful trait, and I don't want her to lose it. So I also need to help myself. So what I do is I do a lot of discussion, a lot of conversations with her. Because she needs to reason with you. Oh God, that's one girl that deals with my husband. She needs to reason. There must be a reason. Oh God, have mercy. You see where the scripture says, "Come, let's reason together." Please, you see that you're strong with child. Come, let's reason together, and trust me, it works. So what I do with her is, I've said something, and she doesn't agree with it, and she does not hesitate 1 second to tell me that, Mommy, I don't think so. I don't agree with what you just said. Look at what I'm thinking. Look at what I think. No problem. They have given me a lot of self-control. You see, children, they teach you patience. If you don't have patience, oh my God, go and gather children around you. You will get patience you will learn patience. You will learn patience by the things they do to you. So she has taught me patience. Before I used to actually get angry. No. I was shouting. Oh man, it was not working. It didn't work. I had to borrow sense and tell myself the truth. I can't keep lying to myself. I had to borrow sense and tell myself that this my shouting is going to work. It's not working. First of all, I had to ask, I said, God, you created this child. I love her personality. I love the way. I don't want her to lose a strong will, but it is stressing my life. It is giving me headache trying to instruct and discipline her. I had to ask God to please help me. So when she does not agree, or when I give instruction and then she feels okay, she can go her way or do, she's the one that I can easily flog. And I'll also make out time, I'll sit down with her, say, okay, look at this, look at that. What do you think? I ask open-ended questions. I don't tell her. So with her own mouth, she tells me, she doesn't even know, she won't even know when she'll not pin herself down. She'll not pin herself. Like, have you seen it? Like, oh, it's true. I'm like, you see? Can you see why? Can you see that you're wrong? Can you see why you did? She'll not be doing like, oh, Mommy, I'm very sorry. And funny enough, she's one of my greatest fans. She's my, like, the way she, like, sometimes I'm like, you use love and choke me one day. But it didn't used to be like that. Every time I'm like, it's like, booze bars. But now, like, I'm her greatest, like, I'm her hero. Not even heroine, I'm her hero. I intentionally, I humbled myself. It takes a lot of humility. I had to humble myself. I had to humble myself. I also had to tell myself, I had to acknowledge the good thing about that her strong will. That was another thing that helped me. I had to acknowledge that her strong will is a very beautiful trait. And I had to tell myself that I don't want to lose this her strong will. I love it. Maybe you don't like, but me personally, I love strong will children. I had to tell myself that I love this strong will and she needs it in life. And I need to make sure that she doesn't lose it. I need to make sure that I don't make her lose it. I had to tell myself that truth. Then I had to humble myself to have conversations, to hear her tell me that no, I don't agree. And then be patient to explain myself to her. So that was how I was able to discipline. Let's also intentionally expose our children to learning other life skills. Which day was that? That was on Wednesday. On Wednesday, my daughter went to make her hair. So the salon where we go to make our hair, they realized that whenever my children come, my second daughter will always like to give them attachments and all of that. So they jokingly said, Mommy Faithful, this December, where Gracious is going to come and work for us. And they thought I was joking. I said, yes, so she'll come and work for you guys. She would come and be giving people attachments, and she'll be learning how to braid hair and all of that. And I was serious. When we came back home, my daughter asked me, said, Mommy, were you really serious? Would you want me to do that? I said, yes. She was so excited. I was like, I said, if you want it, do you want to do that? She said, yes. I said, okay, that's beautiful. December, we'll plan it. You go, you work there, you learn to make some money and all of that. Even if they don't pay you, but at least you're learning something. Like, she was so excited. Let's expose them to skills. Let's expose them to skill. Let them learn something. In this generation, leaving children with just academics is dangerous. It's very risky. Very, very risky in this generation. Very risky. Find out what their passion is. Don't insult their passion. Please, when they tell you their passion, please respect it. Don't insult it. Don't be, what kind of passion is that? What kind of, mommy, I want it, what kind of nonsense? Please don't call it nonsense. I beg you in the name of God. You destroy their ego. Acknowledge what it is that they said they love to do. Find a way. So long as it is legal, so long as it is good, so long as it is not something bad, so long as it's good, please let's encourage them. What we can do is even to now help them scale it and help them see how big that thing they are thinking, how big it can grow. But it's important we expose them to life skills. It's important we expose them to skills so that it's not just academics that they have. It's not enough. It's actually risky. It's not enough. I don't know if if there is any other question.
Yes, ma'am. So,
Okay, so
Auntie Chioma, I have like three questions if you don't mind. Hmm.
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's
So,
fine.
okay. So my first question, firstly, this session has been really, really like amazing. Right now, a lot of things now, like, it makes sense. Like right now, I can comfortably call my dad and tell him things that's happening in my relationship life. And it feels weird. Like when I'm telling my friends, it feels really, really weird that I can tell my dad or share such information with him. But I guess it's the way he brought us up. Like we're able to relate with him, share information. At a point, he became my friend. I guess that was why that was able to happen. So
Yeah.
my first question, how do we balance being a friend? Like, how do we strike a balance? Because recently, we Gen Zs, we tend to have forgotten what parenting means to a large extent. So we are trying to be the child's friends, and we tend to lose sight of, I guess, trying to correct the child. Or I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense, ma. Sorry, let
Okay,
me
let
unmute
me
my.
try and paraphrase. If I understand what you're saying, I think what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
is how do we balance being a mother, a parent, and being the child's friend?
Yes,
Is that what you're
exactly.
saying?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good. All right.
Thank
So
you.
basically I'm my children's friend. I'm their friends, right? Like I said, make your principles and your values clear. I'm their friends, but they also understand boundaries. So I make them understand there are boundaries they don't cross. Yes, they are my friends. Okay, let me give instances. They are my friends. But when there are rules. When you're coming into my room, you need to knock before entering my room. They understand that. Communication. They are my friends. You wake up in the morning, you will have to greet me. I'm your mom. They are my friends. You can't talk to me anyhow. They understand there are certain languages they can't use. Like I said earlier, when my child would tell me, "Mommy, please calm down, let me explain something." You are allowed to express yourself, but you must do that with respect. So it's also on the part of the parent to know, to tell this child, to let this children know boundaries, and to let them know what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. So it's also by correct. So when they cross the boundary, you let them know, oh, you've crossed the boundary. Though I remember sometimes I'll tell my children, I'm like, is it because I play a lot with you guys? And then you guys seem okay, you can. I'm like, no, mom, it's not it. And they start apologizing. I'm like, okay, I'll draw another boundary. You don't do this, you don't do this, you don't do that. Again, make it clear. Communication. Make clear the values you want to instill. Make clear what is acceptable by you and what is unacceptable. Let them also understand, oh, there is that place of authority. Like there are certain things. Sometimes it's embarrassing when my children will come and if like they are dealing with someone, and the next they will first of all have to ask me for permission. In as much as we are friends, they know there are certain things they cannot do. You give my children something, they must first ask me, "Mommy, can I or can I not?" So it starts from gradually teaching them. They'll be when they start, they'll be making the mistakes they want to do, but you don't stop talking. You don't stop correcting. You don't stop giving the instructions and all of that until they assimilate. Okay, this is, and they also understand authority. So sometimes even with their dad, I intentionally like, oh, when daddy is coming back, you don't just hug and then he's holding something and then you don't take that thing from him. So when you hug him, make sure you take whatever it is he's holding from him. So when this is happening, it's communication actually.
Thank you very much for your response.
Okay, what was your second question?
How do I cultivate patient parenting, especially if I'm
Okay,
hot-tempered or impatient?
okay, good. First of all, you have to deal with yourself. Like I said earlier, I used to have all those outbursts. You have to deal with yourself. You have to acknowledge first that, see you, I have anger issues. Do not deny your flaws. Do not deny your weaknesses. You have to first of all acknowledge that, okay, I have anger issues, right? Acknowledge it. Secondly, ask God to help you, because anger can destroy a lot of things. I used to have anger issues. Like like little things trigger me. I see when people see me like, you have like people don't know. God has done plenty of things in my life that people have no idea. I used to have anger issues. And then like the example I gave with teaching my daughter, it was still anger that will bring out those outbursts. Little thing. I remember the day my daughter said, she said, "Mommy," that was even what now made me sit back and think. She said, "Mommy, you are the one teaching me. I am the one learning. You know these things, but you're teaching me like I am you. I am not you. You already know it. I am the student. I am learning, and you teach me like I already know it, like you know it. It will take me time to understand." Ah, God, by the time she finished, I said, "Chioma, oh, God help you." I said, "See, small girl is the one teaching you what you should know." And by the time she finished talking to me, I'm like, eh? I said, okay. I was still very angry. By the time she was talking, I wouldn't lie to you. By the time she was saying all of that, my outburst was like, "Looky where." But I went back and told myself, I say, you know that girl was correct, right? Only me, I answered myself, yes. I asked myself, what will you do about it? That was how I came about that code I mentioned earlier that I had with her. So, but I acknowledged that, okay, she was right. I had to tell myself the truth. This girl is right, though. You're teaching her, you've forgotten that you already know it. And in your head, you're thinking, okay, you know it now. Why shouldn't she know it? Why is it? It's very easy. Was that easy? Was it how you easily learned it? Now you want it to be sharp, sharp. Like, why are you not giving her time to be able to process it? They've given you time, is you've processed it, you're an adult, it has stuck in your head. And you're thinking, give her her own time to process the information and be able to assimilate and get it. I took a deep breath. I went back. Like I said, humility. I apologized to her. I told her, I said, you know what? I am sorry. You're very correct. I am very sorry. I also had to tell her my weakness. Like I said again, vulnerability. Do not be scared to be vulnerable to them. Trust me. They are also accountability partners that God has placed around you. They are also accountability partners that God has placed. I have to be vulnerable to her and tell her that, see, you know your mom, she can just shout. She can shout just, and that is her. That gives her some kind of ease. Like, to know that, okay, I actually don't have a problem. And she started empathizing with me. She started empathizing with me. She was like, don't worry. I said, no, and I don't like it. I don't like the way I shout. I had to tell her the truth. I actually don't like when I shout like that. At the end of the day, I'm not happy that I shouted at you because I know that it's not all your fault. I have some blame to take in that. And then we had that code. I said, okay, do you know what? Can you help me? She said yes. She asked me how. I said, can you be my accountability? But I say how? And I explained. I said, okay, when I'm disciplined, when I'm teaching like that, and you see me, I'm already trying to, I said, just squeeze my hand and just tell me, okay, mommy, we had that because we've had that conversation. So whenever she does it, my brain registers immediately. This is a conversation you had with her. The next thing, I'm able to calm down. These things, I don't know how it works, but it works. So if you have anger issues, discuss it. Discuss it. Don't let your children suffer because of it. Talk to them about it. Let them know that it's a weakness. It will help them not think that they have a problem. Because you find yourself always shouting at them. The next thing they'll start thinking that maybe something is wrong with me. Maybe I'm not okay. Maybe I'm not always getting things right. And Satan is very wicked. Before you know what's happening, Satan has gotten into the head of your child and is making your child believe that I'm good for nothing. I don't know how to do anything. I cannot do this one. Anyone I do, there's complaint. There's nothing I can get right. And Satan will start magnifying bullshit to your child. So it will go a long way if you let your child know that you see you're not the problem. Momsy has some anger issues and God is helping mommy deal with it. Okay. Okay, let me see. So let me look at the chat that just came in. Okay, the part where you said if you're a career person, then your kids will be career driven. What does that mean, considering the fact that children are different and will want to take on different careers as they progress in life? Yes, you still mentioned career. So it now depends. Okay, let me read your question back to you, right? So you said, where you said if you are a career person, then your children will be career driven. What does that mean, considering the fact that children are different and will want to take on different careers? It mustn't be your career as they progress in life. So it mustn't be your career that they will take on. But they've seen that whatever you pursue it with tenacity, you pursue it with passion. So in whatever area, that was what I said earlier, find what they are passionate about. Find their passion and help them develop that passion. So it mustn't be your line of career. No, I mean, I'm totally against that. I'm totally against trying to make your children live the life that you didn't live. Trying to make them complete your life where you failed. No, they have their own lives to live. Allow them. Oh, I wanted to be a doctor. Oh, things did not work out for me. One of my children must be a doctor. Kilo day. So it must not be your line of career. But they have seen that my mother or my parents or this woman in my life is is has how will I put, dignifies labor, has respect for hard work. Has one of the values of this my mother is hard work, is excellence. She is not lazy, time management. She's able to see things through. So whatever career path they choose, those values they see that you bring on in your own career, they will automatically begin to express those values in their own line of career. It mustn't be your line of career. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ma, for the insights you shared. Nice to have you here.
And God will help all of us raise awesome, godly, respectable, honorable children. Yeah.
Yeah.